Welcome to the In the Trash Podcast, a variety podcast to talk about sports, news, entertainment, culture, gaming, and pretty much anything else I feel like. I'm your host and worst best friend, Ramboss Terrible, and the man to my right, who is always looking at the world through a glass half full, Mike Ely. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Hanging in there. But I heard you have some pretty interesting stories to tell me this week.
I had a good time this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually getting into it. All right. And with that, cue the intro. All right, so before we get into the meat and potatoes of this week's podcast, really would like to ask you guys to like, subscribe, comment, share, do all those things. Really help us out a little bit. We are trying to grow still. We're obviously not doing the best of job at it. But yeah, other than physically growing, we're trying to grow the podcast, not ourselves. So if you could help us out, we really would appreciate it. Thanks a lot. All right, Mike. I wanted to just kind of shoot the shit with you a little bit about
life.
Well, besides just actually the opposite of life.
Oh.
Death.
Death.
And yeah, I just kind of wanted to go into like, I don't know, maybe talk about some like ghost stories or anything like that you have. If you have any. I definitely have some.
I got some like crazy shit, maybe like Ouija board stuff. Ghosts? Oh man, I used to be stationed at in Charleston. They had a rundown hospital over there, so I don't think it really.
Yeah, didn't you do something? Shit. You did something recently, though, right? Like, didn't you?
Yeah,
do something
but what brought it up because we were talking earlier off camera, and I told you about how my weekend was. So I went to this place. It's in Texas. It's called Jefferson, Texas. And so while we're walking down Jefferson, Texas, I see this. What's it called when it's like a bronze statue? But is it called a bust?
Like a bust? Yeah, just his chest up, basically. Yeah, bust.
It was Thomas Jefferson. I was like, is that why this place is called Jefferson, Texas? But I never read the little plaque on it.
Was that the reason? Like I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I still don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping somebody who's listening, maybe they'd be able to tell me. But
like, anyway, yeah, you fucking moron.
But no, it's a small little town, man. And they got cobblestone roads and everything. People, like, when they come to visit, they'll stay the night and you can rent golf carts. It's a small town like that. They got
nice.
Store. Yeah. So it gives you that old vibe. But my buddy that I went about a month ago, he approached me and he wanted me to do his daughter's senior pictures. And I was like, all right, what's she into? And he's like, oh, I think she likes scary stuff. And I remember a while he was telling me that he knew the owner of, it's called the Jefferson Hotel.
Yeah.
And he said he knows the owner of the Jefferson Hotel. And I was like, why don't we go there and take pictures? And I said, I've never been. It's a haunted hotel. I want to check it out. And so that's what we did this weekend. He came pick me up around 9 o'clock, and then we kind of stayed out there all the way till like sunset and stuff like that. Just, man, when we got in the hotel, hey man, so like the hotel, it has all this like just artifacts in it, it feels like.
Okay.
And then my buddy he's been there before, he's like, wait, this is different. So what they do, they moved it. He's like, you'll never see the hotel the same way when you go back because they just move so much stuff around.
Right.
And I think they just do it just to give you that vibe. Like, oh shit, there's a bat right over there. It's a real bat, but you know, it's like it's a stuffed bat and shit like that. But then so he told me his daughter is into scary stuff. So I said, man, let's do it. Cause I like scary stuff. I go to sleep watching Ghost Adventures and shit like that. That's what helps me go to sleep.
Dude, but honestly, I started doing that too with the Ghost Adventures thing. And I think I got it from you. Just like leaving it on. Because like there's times like I'll literally just play Ghost Adventures and like pass out on the couch.
Yeah, and I do it for my dogs too. They know about Ghost
Adventures. They love it.
Too, stuff like that. Yeah. But so we get there and all of a sudden she doesn't want to do pictures. She's sitting there. She says she has like a heavy weight on her. She's crying. She's emotional.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. I'm like, what are you doing, man? We're supposed to be taking pictures.
Right.
And so she had her girlfriend with her. And now granted, okay, so she's 17, 18. Her girlfriend's probably about 16, 17. And we go into one room where it tells you about the history of the hotel. You sit there, you can watch the little screen and tell you about the history of the hotel. And we go in this room right next to it, and it's a whole different environment type room. Like, because one room's dark, you go in this other room, it's light. Well, I didn't know about it till probably like when we finally leave the hotel. But her girlfriend said she saw a little boy run out the room.
Get the fuck
There's
out.
No little boy. There's nobody in this room. Like there's no kid. There's people staying at the hotel, but there's two older ladies. But there's no kids in this hotel. Except for the youngest kids were the two teenagers that were with us. But she didn't tell me that. And I'm just sitting here, just hanging out. Like I don't feel nothing.
Yeah.
But the two young girls, like I said, one just felt like heavy pressure on her and stuff like that. She was getting emotional and she couldn't get comfortable for pictures. Her girlfriend sees that little boy. And then so later on in the day, like closer to the end, well, we also meet another buddy out there because his daughter wanted to do pictures outside in his old, Jefferson, Texas, because it's just nice down there. But she went in there to go use the restroom. She said when she went in there, she felt a heavy presence. Like it was just something heavy on her. And she felt uncomfortable in there. Because when I was taking her picture, I said, man, you believe? I thought old girl was into scary stuff. And then she was like, I felt that too. And I was like, wait a minute. And then so they got this one room up there. It's called the disappointment room. And the reason why they call it the disappointment room.
I'm aware of what a disappointment room is.
Really? You know what it is? Really?
Yeah, it's pretty much my bedrooms.
Oh, really?
They're all just disappointment rooms.
No, this is different. This is different. What you do to girls is a disappointment probably, but no, this is different.
That's why I introduce it. Girls, welcome to the disappointment room.
What happened was back in the day, the owners had a special needs child.
Okay.
And they locked him up in the attic.
Damn.
And that's why it was a special room. So you can go up there.
Yeah.
And so it's weird. So you go up there. When you go up there, you're on top of the roof. But the owner of it covered in this roof just so you can have a little alleyway to get where the disappointment room was.
Yeah. I love that.
So you're crawling through this little attic. And they have a little room. They have a red light in there. They have a bed in there. And then we're going in there. And so the girlfriend, she went with us because the daughter, she was like, I'm going outside. I can't take this no more. So while we're in there taking pictures and stuff like that and then finding out the history of it, she says she feels somebody tap her on the shoulders.
Yeah.
And it's because she's sitting there like wigging out. We're just like, man, what's going on? She's like, I just felt somebody tap me on the shoulders. I mean, like I said, I didn't feel nothing. But they had chairs out there because some paranormal team went up there and they'll go out there like 8 deep and they'll just sit out there and just record and, talk and get EVPs and stuff like that. And it's weird because if you search on YouTube, the owner of the hotel, he has QR codes everywhere. So like there's a Jesus statue. Okay. And then you can click on the QR code. It'll show you something that happened in this hotel. Like, so the arm can fall off. It was like 3 o'clock in the arm of the hand of the Jesus will just fall off. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's around it, but he gets movement on his camera. So you click on his QR code, you can see what was happening.
What
it's
moved?
Live. It's not live, but it was live when it was
right. It was very recent. It's like a Ring camera kind of deal.
Yeah, it's like a Ring camera. Yeah. And then so you can see it. And so he has these QR codes around where, hey, this is what I've caught on my cameras inside the hotel. His thing's laid out with cameras just so he can catch stuff. That's what he likes to do. Yeah.
So wait, did the Jesus hand fall off Jesus?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
So it did fall off?
Yeah. So when I went to QR code, because they told me, I said, you can go to these little things, little artifacts. If it has a QR code, click on it.
Yeah.
And it'll show you a story behind it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like, that's pretty interesting. So yeah. So like there's one where before I went out there, I went on YouTube and I just put the Jefferson Hotel, haunted hotel. And there's one camera where it's facing down the hallway. You can see something go in front of the back door.
Yeah.
And it's inside the house.
I'm going to look this up real quick. Let me see Jefferson Hotel. Maybe it's online. Yeah. Jefferson Hotel haunting Texas.
But so I came to the idea once we're finally at the hotel and the 3 teenagers told me about, their experience, how they felt heavy presence and all that. I said, maybe because I'm already heavy. That's probably why I don't feel the presence. The ghosts are probably looking at me like, we can't budge him.
They're like, that dude is already breathing hard. Like, he's not going to feel anything we do.
Presence on him because he's heavy. What are we going to do to him?
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
he lives this.
Yeah, he lives this life that we're doing it while we're dead.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Is the hotel haunted? We are known as the most haunted hotel in the world. And we're not just saying that. We can back it up. Just look at our captures on YouTube that not only the hotel cameras have captured, but also our guests. So I like this guy's... I like their first homepage, but they need to work on their punctuation. Like, it's definitely a very low budget website.
Man, it's southern English.
It's pretty rough. But yeah, no, it seems pretty cool. Let's see, they got the Crystal Paradise Ballroom.
That's the one where she saw the
Palace,
little boy.
excuse me. Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's the one where she saw the little boy run out.
Oh, is there a picture of this little boy somewhere? Why do they have a DJ stand?
Well, there is.
Okay, this isn't that scary. There's like a picture of a DJ booth.
Yeah, like I said, he puts little aesthetics in it just to.
What do you mean, little aesthetics? This is like a legit disco room.
Yeah, it's loaded with a lot of stuff.
This isn't scary at all.
Yeah.
It's legitimately
like I said,
a disco ball.
I felt like it was more like the just old vintage stuff. That maybe they're trying to feel like something's attached to it.
I don't know. It just looks really funny because there's literally like a projector shooting down these like lights, like multicolored lights. It looks like a club. It's just funny because it's supposed to be this haunted hotel.
My buddy that's been there before, he's like, this room wasn't here last time. Like I said, they're trying to update, but I don't know why they went with that.
Yeah, I don't know either. If they're trying to be a haunted hotel, they need to stay away from the modern strobe lights and shit. Like, that just kind of ruins the whole vibe. But that's pretty funny.
And I think Jefferson, Texas is also known for Bigfoot. I think that Bigfoot is... Yeah, I think
Are you
Bigfoot
serious?
is huge. Yeah.
Man, these people in Jefferson, they got all the spookies.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I don't know if they got any UFOs over there.
Yeah, they need Slender Man.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? I don't know. I don't know what you even want to call those.
Urban legend, I guess.
Urban legend. Yeah. Do you have a favorite one?
No, just Ouija boards, I guess.
I like Ouija boards too.
I think Ouija boards are probably real.
I also agree with that. Like, I have some.
I don't know how,
like,
because you see, like, sometimes they're made by the people that make toys, and you're like, how fucking Parker Brothers?
Yeah, it's like Parker Brothers Johnson or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Johnson baby oil make fucking
exactly.
Ouija board.
Like, first you gotta lather yourself up.
Exactly.
Like,
try to get a hold of the fucking piece or whatever.
You gotta say P. Diddy's name 3 times.
That shit just slipping
and sliding. You don't even have to touch it. You just put it on the board. This shit is slick as hell. Be like, you moved it? No, I didn't move it. You moved it? Just a fucking light breeze. It just pushes it. Just slides along.
It got grooves in the board.
It's fucking... But yeah, no, I have a pretty cool Ouija story. Oh, wait, so before we go into the Ouija thing, so did she end up finishing taking her photos? Like, was that done? Like, did you finish those?
We didn't get really nothing. Like, they had one room in it that had nothing but mirrors in it.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, look, I said, at least give me this. I said, I want to take a picture of you facing me, and then I want you to turn around, face the mirror. And that way I can blend them together.
You can Photoshop it so it's like, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that would be a cool one.
Yeah. And so that's what I was like, at least give me that. I said, if you ain't comfortable with nothing else, I was walking around these rooms, I saw this big ass mirror. I said, I just want that from you.
Yeah, that would have been a cool shot. All right, well, that works.
Yeah, she was not like, it felt like she was wasn't comfortable. When we got outside, she was getting a little bit more comfortable and stuff like that. But when she was in there, I didn't realize it until probably like 30, 45 minutes afterwards. Like, what's wrong with you?
It's just tripping.
Yeah, me and her, like, I grew up, she's a year older than my daughter, so it's like a good family friend. So I can talk about, what the fuck wrong with you? I just don't do to all my clients. Like, stop fucking crying.
Do you believe in like EVPs and things like that? The electromagnetic voice, whatever.
I wish I did. Man.
Picker-uppers.
I wish I did, just because I watch Ghost Adventures and all that. But I just like I hate the ones where you're like, you can hear it say this. I'm like, no, people are saying it just because you said it.
Yeah, it'll be like, I just called you a bitch. It's like,
he said hello, Zach. No, he didn't. He did not say hello.
Did you hear that? And it plays it back and goes.
And it's just so fine. Like something like the time, and I'm sorry, like, if I'm going back and listening to all the clips, like 12 hours later, and I'm trying to catch just that little, nope.
You would never catch it. Yeah. So so here's my thing, is the only time I've ever come into contact with like an actual recording of an EVP was with a friend of mine named Prim back in the day. I don't know if you remember him or not. Yeah, we were stationed together. So he brought on huh?
Oh. No, before we start with that, you could check out all that stuff at the hotel too.
Oh, really?
So you could check out like an EVP thing and bring it up to your room and.
Oh, see, that's pretty cool. Like, I would probably do something like that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the EVP thing, like with Prim, I was kind of like you. Like, I didn't really like. I don't know. Maybe it's just they just do it for the show kind of deal, you know?
Yeah.
Which would make sense, of course. But anyway, he brought something on the ship once, and he was like, "Hey, man, I wanted to show you something because you know you're into this kind of stuff." So he brought this recording on, and he was like, "Hey, man, this is from when we were walking. I was like walking with my son through the woods, and." Basically what he was doing is he was walking through the woods somewhere in San Diego doing like a little fucking ghost hunting or whatever he was doing, and he was recording with his little radio box, and all he was doing was talking while he was recording, right? And he eventually came up to like this cave, and he was standing there and he's like, "Man, I wonder what this cave is. Like, I wonder what's up with this cave." Just part of his bullshitting to himself, right? And then he keeps on keeping on with whatever the hell he was doing, and then he gets home and he's listening to like what he was saying and blah blah blah, seeing if anything like actually came up. He gets to the cave part and he hears himself say, "Hey, man, I wonder what's going on with this cave." And then you hear a little voice that says, "That's where the bears are." And he was
must have been the son.
No, it wasn't his kid. That's the thing. That was the thing that was fucking weird about it. Is like he said it wasn't his kid. Like it was literally just like some fucking weird other voice that was literally and super quiet. You hear it like because you can hear all the rustling of like his feet like walking through the woods or whatever, and you hear him say, "Oh, I wonder what the hell this is." And then just this really quiet little voice like, "That's where the bears are." Yeah. And I was just like, "What the fuck? That's so trippy." And then he goes and he like shows us online. He's like, "Yeah, this is where I was," and he shows us photos of like this old fucking like. It had like bars on the front of this the mouth of this cave.
Yeah, so you can't.
And I guess that's literally like where they used to have like a zoo over there, and they kept the bears in this fucking zoo, in the mouth of that fucking cave, like when it used to be a zoo area. I was like, that was absolutely crazy. So that was like the only time I ever was like, okay, that EVP like is legitimate, scary as fuck. Like that one actually got me.
I like a creepy voice.
It wasn't necessarily a creepy voice, but it was just like a quiet child.
Yeah.
And like when his son was talking and you heard his son talking, it was very clear because they're right next to each other and just like loud. But the thing is when it was that little voice, when he was like, "Oh, I wonder what was in this cave." And then you just hear like that, the real small whispers, like, "That's where the bears are." Like really quiet. And like it literally made like the fucking like hair like on the back of my neck, like stand up, So I was just like, that's so crazy. So yeah, that was my only real experience.
But like the ones that you watch the show and it sounds like it's just static, and then they pick up something. They say, "Oh, we're just going through so many channels so fast."
Yeah,
I always feel like when you're doing that, like maybe you picked up some truckers talking or something.
Well, that's a big thing too. Like honestly, like you really can, because even. I don't know. Do you remember when we were hearing like random voices on our channel? And I was like, why are we hearing? And it was literally like a cable that didn't have enough shielding on it that was acting like an antenna. And it was picking up some like fucking radio station that's like down my road or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Do you remember that?
And that's what I feel like I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Like, beginning of this year, probably.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But yeah, so yeah, that's definitely a thing. So I'm sure the people on the TV
I feel like
shows
when I watch those ones and I hear a little static and then something comes through, I'm like, man, you just picked up a CB radio.
Yeah. Like Trucker 99.
And like the thing that's crazy about watching those the cameraman that's with them, and the cameraman that's with them never gets any love.
No, they just ignore the shit out of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. They're right there with you.
Yeah. I like when they actually show like something happen. I just get bored watching the show sometimes. I'm like, come on, fucking something happened. Like I'm literally annoyed at the ghosts for not doing anything.
Exactly, for not doing their job.
And my thing with that is like, okay, so we have more cameras, more technology than we've ever had, and you're telling me we still
can't find Bigfoot.
We still can't find Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Slender Man, any of those guys. But yeah, we can't. We tell me we still haven't picked up like an actual footage of ghosts or UFOs or some shit like that yet. Yeah. And like I want to believe in aliens, especially so fucking bad. Like I know my own bias with it, and like I know if somebody presented me with some small semblance of like, hey, this may be true, I'll be like, oh my god, it's fucking true, it's finally here, you know.
Yeah.
But there's still like such little evidence of it that actually proves it. You know, I just want some like actual definitive, yes, there are fucking aliens. Like something needs to happen, and it needs to be on like the news. You know,
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of shit that I want to see.
That's like the shows where they're still talking about Bigfoot. Like, bro, it's 2025. We got drones. You tell me we can't find nothing.
Exactly.
But we're still looking.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
especially like heat. We have like thermal imaging with drones and shit.
Yeah. Those dudes that are hunting for Bigfoot, y'all need to give that story up.
Yeah, exactly. This story was good 100 years ago before we had all this shit.
You're better off looking for Smurfs or something like that. That way they can't be heat detected.
Tiny ass.
Yeah, you're better off. Now that one, like, if you would have told me that story maybe 20 years ago, I'd be like, that shit's real. Here I am still looking for Bigfoot, and this dude's bigger than me. Like,
yeah. I definitely
tearing down his homes for I don't know how long, but yeah, he still gets deeper and deeper in the wood. Like,
there was a comedian, his name was Mitch Hedberg, who had a funny joke about fucking Bigfoot, and he was like, what if Bigfoot is just wandering around the forest and he's actually just a large out of focus monster? Like, he's just everybody who takes a picture of him, you know how he's always blurry? Like, what if he's actually just a blurry monster? Like, that's what he looks like. I fucking love that. I loved Mitch Hedberg. That guy used to fucking kill me. Let's see what else we got over here. I'm still looking at those photos of your haunted palace, or the Jefferson Hotel haunted
Jefferson
palace
Hotel?
ballroom. Yeah,
man, look at some YouTube videos of it, man.
Yeah, I'll check it out because that honestly kind of makes me like just what they turned it into. Kind of.
Well, it was so crazy. Ridiculous. I used to be stationed in South Carolina. You know, South Carolina has a lot of history too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, South Carolina.
And I used to be stationed at the hospital over there, the Naval Hospital, which they used to have a Navy base over there. Which when I was there, the Navy base was shut down, but they still had a hospital that wasn't a fucking 9-story hospital, but not every story was fucking being used. Not every floor is being used. I remember, man, when I first got there, I used to work security over there.
Ooh.
And man, you used to make rounds and stuff like that. Well, you know, sometimes when you're doing security, man, you got to make rounds on every floor. So I'm sitting there, I'm just sitting on, I think, floor 7. It wasn't being used. I don't know what it used to be. It might have been, the other ward, I think floor 5 was like where they deliver babies and everything. But floor 7, it wasn't being used. So I'm sitting there. I was like, man, I'm going to take a little break, man. I'm going to sit down. So, man, I'm just sitting down. I hear a door open. I said, oh, shit, somebody's coming. So I can get up, man. I try to make it look like I'm making around. Nobody's on the floor. I was like, man, what the fuck? So I go and I sit back there. I said, man, when we come to, like, it's like probably like my first month working there. I do the same thing. I said, man, I'm just going to chill out again. A door, it's the escape doors that are opening.
Yeah.
I hear the door opening. I'm, oh, shit, somebody's coming. Walk around nobody. I said, man, fuck this shit, man.
What is going on?
Because I don't do go. I want to see one, but I don't do them. I can't, like.
Yeah.
There's probably an opportunity for me to see one, but nah.
You're like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good. You can have the floor. I'm out.
So that one happened. Then when you're walking on floor 5, it's crazy because it was the delivery room. So you had those glass windows, and it's a thin hallway and a glass window. And man, I felt because I used to work nights, and you had to rove every fucking floor still. Man,
I don't know if I'd be roving those floors. I'd just say I did.
All you do is just do it. Like we used to, after a while, when we got done with, since it was a full run of hospital, we go to the elevator, look out the door, close the elevator. Okay, nobody.
Good.
Lights are out.
Yeah,
man,
I can't blame
on that one with that glass right there. It's probably just a mind thing, but it just felt like eyes just staring at you.
Yeah.
I wasn't heavy back then, so I felt the heavy.
That was it. Exactly. Yeah, you having trouble breathing.
Loaded. You know, I had a firearm on the side. I had a vest on. We had to wear all our security shit still.
They made you carry the rifle around too?
Yeah. We used to fuck around because they had a payphone in there, like on the 3rd floor. And so when the elevator, the little doors open up, the alarm sets off dispatch, tell you that somebody's been up there. So we said your rove, all right, man, go do your roves. Man, he opened up that 3rd door. We used to call this what's called payphone right there. And man, he come running back down to the dispatch. Man, the phone's ringing. Right. Well, did you fucking answer it? You know?
Who was it?
He's like, no, I didn't answer it. Well, go back fucking up there. You know?
Someone obviously is trying to reach you.
We're going to fuck with him, like act like a little kid on the other line.
I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Man, they had a fucking morgue over there, too. While I was there, it wasn't a full running hospital, but they had a morgue there, like, because we had nuke school over there. New kids, man, they took something serious. When they failed a test, some of them took it serious. As far as suicide.
Yeah.
And so when they didn't have nowhere to put the bodies, they said, hey, we got a morgue here. Man, they bring them over there. They had an accident one time where 3 sailors, it was a bus accident. 3 sailors died. They had to bring those bodies over there. Damn. And man, that's what I felt like, some more heavy presence. Everybody, let's go down morgue. Hell no, I ain't going down there.
Yeah, the morgue, I feel like, is one place that I would not like to really hang out or see, like, kind of spend any real time there. Like, I could definitely understand that.
And then the x-ray tech, they got to take x-rays of them. So, man, this dude's just wheeling them through the hallway, and he came in on the weekend, because on the weekend, we had, like, a full running pharmacy and all that, but so on the weekend, everything's closed, and fucking, so he has to come in on the weekend, he has to roll these bodies, take x-rays of them, stuff like that, just to see them, because, you know, it's a dark hallway, and he's just rolling this little stretch. I'm like, man, fuck that.
Dude, I actually found out something recently about dead bodies when you put them into a cremation chamber, is that sometimes when you put the body in, right, like when you apply heat to the body, like that amount of heat really quickly, the muscles and everything will sometimes contract, like everything will tighten up. So the body will sometimes, like when you're like, it's just sitting in there, it will sit up. And because the muscles contract, so like the thing will sit up in the fucking. I ain't
got no abs, so mine wouldn't.
Yeah, you're safe. You're gonna lay down. But I'm just saying, could you imagine seeing that? Like if you're watching it like happen, just making sure like everything's going all right, and the fucking body just sits up in there.
Shut it off! Shut it off!
Oh my god!
Shut it off!
Right? I'd feel so. Oh my god! I'd be so fucked. But I found out, like I was reading about it, about weird things that happened in cremation chambers, and that was just. I was like, that's so crazy. And then like there was another thing about like human body fat, I guess. Like if you like a human, like the fat will actually catch fire, like create like a grease fire, depending on like the different temperatures like you burn it at. So you have to use like a specific temperature to like keep everything under control.
That's just like when you cook steak and the fat, that fire.
Yeah, but could you imagine like a human, like you're cooking a fucking human and the fat is just dripping off their body? Like, and then just burst into flames. Like,
that's what mine would be like. I'd be like a fucking bonfire out south. Out in the woods, a big ass bonfire.
This billowing smoke. That's how mine would be too. I'm so fat.
Put about 20 pallets in there. Oh, that's fucking that.
It's just Mike. It's just laying him to rest. Do you want to be cremated when you die?
That's what I do. Huh?
Do you want to be cremated when you die or no? Or do you want to be buried?
No, I want to be cremated. And the only reason why I want to be cremated, because I want to put my kids on a mission to dump my ashes in different places just for the hell of it. Yeah. But I already know my son's going to be like, I just dump him in the fucking Red River. Like, he's going to fucking know. my son will be like, if we just dump him in the Red River, eventually he'll get to wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, his body's going to spread out.
My middle child will be like, no, let's stick to Dad's plan.
Right.
Let's go dump his ashes everywhere so we can do it as a like a little mission.
Yeah,
and my youngest one will just go for whatever. She usually probably follow her older brother.
Yeah. See, I want them to just put my remains like in different places too. But the thing is, I don't want to be cremated. I just want them to take chunks of my body and fucking just.
That's what they should allow. They should allow, like, you take chunks, then you put like your finger. Okay, I'm gonna put a finger with a fucking bunch of rose seeds. So I'm just gonna plant it here in some random thing. So that way, if the roses grow, hey, that's part of it. I'm gonna take this one.
Could you imagine like fucking seeing that? Oh my god! Could you imagine, like, for real though, like if you're like doing some shit like that, and like you just find like some finger bones.
You're explaining to it,
You're like, oh, this is my uncle.
What the fuck are you doing? No, it's written right here. This is what he wanted.
Yeah, we're good. I promise. Like, this is what he asked for. Yeah, but I think seriously, like, I probably want to be cremated. I think, yeah, I wouldn't mind just being cremated. That's fine by me. Yeah. Like, they have other things that I think would be kind of cool too. Is like they're like the green caskets, I think they're called, where they're very easy to like. They're very biodegradable. Basically, you put them in the ground and like a tree grows out of them, a kind of shit. You know, they have like seeds planted into them, so that your body like will actually get destroyed by all the wildlife and stuff, and used as like the fertilizer for the plants around you. You know, which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind being that, and I'm dead. Who cares? Like, body's not useless, or you know, at least my body's being used for something. So I think that'd be cool.
I would want to be like a orange fucking tree or something.
You want to be an orange tree? Respect.
A blood orange tree. That's what I want to be.
I actually found out that the orange like the citrus population in Florida, period, is like basically dying out. Like we're not going to have citrus at all here very soon, like within the next couple of years.
Georgia got oranges too, don't they?
I think Georgia also has like peaches and shit too.
Yeah,
but the thing is, there's like a disease going around that's killing all the citrus fruits, including like lemons and shit. So it's like lemons, oranges, grapefruits.
It's finally hitting Florida. Like Florida, you figure they could have had diseases a long time ago.
Yep, nope, it's hitting Florida now. And it's been hitting us for a few years now, but I think it's called like the yellowing or something like that. Like I forgot what the hell the actual thing is. But yeah, it's like this little parasite.
Yeah, so we're gonna pretty soon there's gonna be lab fucking orange juice. That's what we're gonna be.
Probably. Drinking. I mean, that's the only way to get them now. Really, I mean, from the States, like they're still growing oranges in like other countries, you know. Yeah. But here they have a really bad like the parasite. There's like this little bug or something that apparently like it nibbles on the leaves, and then it infects the leaf like a bacteria. The bacteria goes into the leaf, goes all the way down to the roots. And then like starts destroying the roots of these plants, and it basically causes the leaves to get yellow. That's like the sign of it. But the roots are actually dying when the leaves are yellow. And like even like I've had this lemon tree in my backyard, dude, and I've had it I don't know maybe a couple years now, and it makes delicious lemons. But it finally it's getting the yellow leaves now, and I was like, oh fuck, it got the disease. So whatever bug is going from it infected my tree finally.
Gotta cremate it.
Just light my fucking tree in the backyard on fire.
Gotta start growing some tobacco, man.
Yeah.
Remember tobacco?
Tobacco?
Tobacco.
What is tobacco?
It was on The Simpsons. Somebody put a tomato and tobacco together, and they got to the cows and made like mad cow disease and shit like that.
No. That sounds awesome though.
Tobacco, man. Yeah.
Tobacco.
Would
you do one of those ghost shows if somebody came up to you and was like, "Hey, Mike, we want you to be part of our ghost adventure show"?
Man, like I really want to say yes.
Or are you just gonna be the asshole in the back? I don't feel nothing. I don't feel it.
I really want to say yes, but I have a feeling like push comes to shove, and they'll be like, "All right, mate, go down the basement by yourself, man." No, wait a minute. We're gonna do this as a group, and like, what do you mean by myself?
We are a team.
Yeah. And then like, because the worst thing about it is you never hear a ghost like, well, maybe possession, but like whooping your ass or nothing like that. Like no ghost has whooped somebody's ass. So why am I scared to go down to the basement by myself? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. But the ghosts do possess. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, like, possession probably like the only thing. Oh, that's another thing. So when you leave in the hotel, the stairwell that goes down is surrounded by crosses.
Oh.
There's like, it's just a bunch of crosses just on the ladder well that goes down. So that way, if anything's attached to you, it won't be able to go through the stairwell. Yeah,
that's the idea, at least.
Yeah.
What about if you have like a Hindu ghost that doesn't believe in Jesus?
You got to go down backwards.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. There was somebody who was talking about it. He's like, how come all the ghosts are always like these old timey ghosts, and you never have a ghost from like 2000 or some shit that's like singing Backstreet Boys or some shit?
You probably got to wait a long time. Probably like an application after you die.
Yeah, you're just like in limbo. Yeah, you're waiting like in limbo. That's what they did in Beetlejuice. Remember Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
The same shit. That was like an application you had to fill out, and you got to wait in line. Yeah.
So that's probably what it is.
So I could see you doing a ghost show.
They're waiting for the ghost to die off, so that way you have availability. Like, when's this dude gonna die again? So I can apply.
They need to be cleansed or whatever. They got to be cleansed and allowed to move on. Yeah, I have the only like I don't know. I think I'm pretty open-minded with this stuff. And I've told you this story before, but I might as well just say it again since we're on the topic. The Ouija board thing. We brought up the Ouija boards before, and are you still there? Are you frozen?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were frozen.
I saw a ghost.
You were just like staring at me like in a weird pose. But yeah, so for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm going to go ahead and let you know about this little Ouija board thing. So back in the day, I was in high school, and there were these two girls who I was acquaintances with.
Like last year, right? High school?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to play a high school student in an upcoming movie. But yeah, there was these two girls in high school. Again, we weren't like super close friends or anything like that. We were just acquaintances. We knew each other's names. Like, there's no reason for them to know the information they knew about me, which I'm going to kind of go over here in a sec. So basically, I just come home. It's nighttime. I get a call, and back then, we had these sheets like we used to give out, like with the contact information, like phone numbers and names of everybody, right? So in case you needed to call somebody, everybody had everybody's information. So they called me. They're like, "Hey, listen, I know this is super random, but your name just came up on the Ouija board that we're playing with." And I was like, "Oh fuck!" And like the thing is, like, I have an aunt who's like super into this shit, and she always said, "Do not fuck with Ouija boards. Like, just don't do it. They're not worth it. Like, you're inviting things that you shouldn't be inviting. Like, you could be talking to somebody, you don't know who it is. It can say one thing, and it's just a can of worms you don't want to fuck with, right?" So in my mind, I was like, "Oh god damn it! All right, well, whatever the hell y'all doing, I don't really want to be part of it." But then they're like, "Listen,
weird way to get my fucking
yeah, this is a weird way to get in my DMs." But yeah, she was like, she's like, "Your name came up, and basically it's saying that it's your mom." And I was like, hold on. So one, everybody who I was friends with at that time would have been very confused by that, because I lived with my aunt and uncle, right? I was technically adopted by them, but I always call my aunt and uncle my mom and dad. I was never really telling anybody I live with my aunt and uncle, right? It was always, yeah, my mom and my dad, whatever, right? So for her to say, "Yeah, your mom," so even if she knew that, like, I live with my mom and my dad, why would she say, "Yeah, your mom is talking to you on the Ouija board"? You know, wouldn't she have said, "Hey, you know, it's somebody else," if she was faking it?
This lady.
Yeah, some lady. But she's like, it came up as saying like it's your mom. And I was like, hold on here. So I was like, all right, we're gonna fucking talk to this. Like, we're gonna figure out what's going on here. So we start, like, I'm still on the phone with her while they're using the Ouija board. I'm not with them. We're not on Zoom. Zoom wasn't a thing. There was no fucking video chat or anything like that. You know, it was literally just a house phone with a fucking cord, right? Like, that's how we were doing this. So yeah, she's like, she starts asking the questions or whatever, like, you know, "Hey, what's your name?" And she told me my mother's actual name, like her biological fucking on paper birth name. And
nobody would know.
Nobody would know. And the thing is, nobody would know this name because, one, I've never met a single other person in my entire life who has that name. Like, it's such a unique name. The fact that they told me that, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? So that, like, really, like, got me. I was like, oh my god, something's going on with this that I just can't explain, you know? So they kept going, and they were like, "Okay, well, how old were you when you passed away?" They told me how old my mom was when she passed away. There was one question that they asked that I was like, okay, I don't know what this one's about, but I'm gonna remember it. So basically, like, the question was, what was your favorite food? And it came up and it said corn, right? She wrote the word corn. And I was just like, I don't know what the fuck that means, like corn. Because I was super young when she passed away. I was only like 5. Right? So I didn't understand what corn was. But later on, I had asked my cousin Gabe, and I was like, "Hey, listen, like, I have a question for you," because he was older than me. He would have been friends with my mom when they were younger together. My mom was pretty young. So I was like, "Hey, what would you say my mom's favorite food was?" And then he's like, "Oh, I would say she was always snacking on popcorn. It's fucking popcorn was what the fuck." And I was like, dude, that is so fucking absolutely crazy. And there was some other questions that, like, blew my mind. I don't know if I want to put this out there just because, like, it involves, like, my last name and, like, other people involved. Like, basically, my biological dad, I was at around that time where I had found out that my biological father was not who I thought it was my entire life, basically. Yeah. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, what is the name of my biological father?" and somebody had told me what his name was before, but it was a different name than what this thing told me. This thing just came up and it just said Diaz. And I was like, what the fuck is Diaz? I was like, I don't know what the hell that's about. Dude, literally when I was in the military, I got a message from one of my siblings from on his side, right? My biological dad. And it came up and I was just like, hey, like, you know, what's his name? And his name was Jose Diaz. Like, how fucking crazy is that?
And you just found out. Look,
I had just found this out. Like, this was like super private, personal information that I had just found out. I was going through like a fucking identity crisis at the time, because I was like, I thought I was somebody else, you know. But I was like, oh my god, I've been lied to my whole life, kind of deal. But in fact, like, well, I was lied to basically, but that's besides the point. But the fact is that they knew who this was on a fucking Ouija board when I was a goddamn teenager talking to this person, you know, like, how goddamn insane is that? So yeah, that's my base. And then the little cherry on top, I guess, if you want to put, is at that point, like, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I can't keep doing this. Like, I was feeling so fucking like overwhelmed.
Crazy. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, I was like overwhelmed with emotion at that time. I was just like, I can't continue this. Like, I gotta go. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm gone. But the thing is, like, I was tearing up because, like, it was such a fucking crazy thing going on, you know, and like they wouldn't have known about this at all. Like, it doesn't make sense for them to know. To this day, I still don't know how this all went down if it wasn't some supernatural shit. But like I was saying at the end, I was feeling really like whatever. I was tearing up on the phone, so I wasn't like sobbing, nothing like that, right? It was literally just, okay, hey girls, like, I'm sorry, I gotta go, I can't keep this up. But they were like, hey, listen, this thing just said, don't cry. And then it was like hug on there. And I was like, I am fucking out. Like, I'm done. Like, that was it. That was the absolute end of it. The don't cry, hug at the end. I was like, I can't fucking do this. Like, it was like, what are the like, it was mind blowing, this whole little experience. So yeah, to this day, I still don't understand like how it happened. Like,
that's crazy. Like, you hear the stories of Ouija, like, and everybody else swear to you, like, man, this shit's real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I just don't know how. I can't explain it any other way. Yeah. So that's my biggest.
And they say, like, the crazy ones, if you make one on your own, if you make your own Ouija board, that's supposed to be like the most strongest one. Or whatever.
Oh, is it? Like, I don't know.
You don't hear those stories. You can't get rid of them. Like, people be like, man, I try to throw mine away. Next thing you know, it's back on my fucking counter.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I've heard too, is like, if you try to throw them away, someone will gift you one or something like that. Like, it just kind of comes back to you eventually. I don't know anything about that. I've never owned one.
I never owned one.
I don't really want to own one. I don't ever want to do anything like that. I'm just not interested, especially from like, just from that experience by itself. I'm not even saying it was a bad experience. Like, I didn't feel bad. Like, I didn't feel like I was in any danger or anything like that. But it was just so unexplainable that it completely baffled me. And I was like, I'm out. Like, I'm done with this whole shit.
Yeah, if I was you, I'd never mess with one. You got too many bad stories, man. You know, like,
it's fucking weird.
Like, you get on there, next thing you know, you're talking to that dead body you saw on the bench up under snow. Like, bro, why don't you give me your jacket? You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're talking to the guy that's dead in the grocery store.
On the grocery store, yeah, that was another one. That was in a Publix. Yeah, I've seen a couple dead bodies.
Give me back my cereal. I know you took my cereal.
Walking by, I'm just like, oh, I needed this. Thank you. Yeah. Give me my Fruit Loops.
He's sitting there going through a bag. Oh, shit.
He ain't gonna use it. Yeah, no, it's
I messed with a Ouija board. Don't get me wrong, I messed with a Ouija board. My shit was so childish though, like, but I mean, it felt like it was just weird because, like, when I was so it was I was probably about like 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then but there's three of us, but we had a house party going on and everything, and so somebody brought a Ouija board. Like, man, let's fuck around with it. Man, we started fucking around with it, and it's just so weird. Like, you swear you're not putting no pressure on it, and the shit's moving. And then so we get to talking, and this dude, he says he's on the other side. He said he's Al Capone. And we're like, man, no shit. Like, if you Al Capone,
no shit.
Where's your fucking riches at and stuff like that? And he couldn't answer the question. And then so we're just, okay, man, whatever, stuff like that. And then so we still fuck around with like, hey, what was your nickname back in the days and stuff like that, and just fucking around with it. And, like hell, I don't even know the answer to these things, but like it says like Scarface stuff like that. Just give us random shit, and then so we just got bored of it, and then we went in just do other stuff because we're at a party. So we played dominoes, we drank, and then so me and my other buddy, we're like, hey man, let's get back on here, see who else we can talk to. We get on it, he's still there.
Oh,
like, we're like, oh shit, we're like, do you want us to say bye? And it goes up and it says yes. We're like, all right, bye. And then so it went up and it doesn't do nothing. And then because all three of us have to be on it. Because all three of us, we're talking to him, so all three of us
gotta say bye.
And then so we try to go back on it again, and it's him again. We're like, because the other dude's playing dominoes, and we're like, do you need him to say bye too? And he's like, yes. And we're like, hey Rob, man, you gotta say bye. This dude grabs a little piece, bye, just fucking throws his shit like that.
Oh shit.
So that was it. Then we're like, okay, fucking,
Damn.
We just closed it up, whatever, called it a day. Fucking that next weekend, me and the other dude, the one that were trying to say bye to him, we get arrested that weekend. And fucking, we get arrested for underage drinking at Mardi Gras.
Like, what are the fucking at Mardi Gras?
Exactly. Who gets arrested for underage drinking?
That's ridiculous.
And so we sit in the pack, like we're sitting because, man, when we got arrested, they're driving us up and down the parade route. And it's fucking in the fucking wagon and shit. And with the windows and everybody's just looking at us and shit like that. And then me and my buddy were like, man, I think it's because old boy didn't say bye. And he wasn't with us at the Mardi Gras thing, but supposedly he got in a wreck.
Oh shit!
And car accident, but I don't think it was a serious car accident. But then we always put it back onto that because we never said bye to the.
Yeah. Maybe, who knows? Yeah. That's pretty crazy though.
Yeah, and then never know. Like on my deathbed, this dude might be paying me a visit and be like, "You got something to say?" Yes, man. Bye. I said bye.
Say goodbye.
I was serious when I said it.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky though.
So I messed with it then, and then I messed with one with some girls, but I don't like it. Was me and the other dude. He was more into this shit than me. The one me and the other that tried to say bye to him.
Yeah,
he was messing with these girls. This is how he got into Ouija board because he's messing with these girls, and they got him into it. So that's why he bought one. He broke the shit out during the house party. Yeah, but yeah, we're messing with the girls. Like I didn't get nothing. The only thing I got on that one, we were messing with it. And it spit it out because we didn't believe it. So my buddy, he's like, "What's my social security number?" And it spit out his social security number.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, was he using it when that came up?
Yeah, he was using it.
Oh, okay. But so he probably did that shit himself.
Yeah, like asshole. You can't. Like I wasn't pushing it, so but he might have been. But it was like a stuttering to do it. Like because whenever you mess with it, it'll just go like you see in the movie, it goes straight here then straight here. Like,
right, yeah.
No, it takes a while for it to get over there.
Yeah, to kind of move around.
Yeah, you got to kind of guess. All right, man, your name's Paul. Fuck, I got P-A-U. All right, you're Paul for now. Warner Brothers, that's the #1 Ouija board. Is that what we're looking up?
No. I was looking at Ouija board, like the Reddit for Ouija board. Ask Ouija. And basically it's like people using the Ouija board and asking different questions, but they leave a word out. And the Ouija board is supposed to fill in the word of what it says, right? Yeah. And this one said, "Vaccines don't kill children. Blank kills children." And somebody said the Ouija board.
Motherfuckers are playing Cards Against Humanity.
Exactly. Somebody said it said Anakin. Darth Vader.
So maybe the people that are on the Ouija board. Maybe the spirits on the Ouija board are the ones that waiting to be ghosts. Because this dude's saying Anakin. He's seen Star Wars.
This one says, "I'm not racist. My blank is black." And the Ouija board said, "Slave."
I wonder if you put those in Chat GPT, what would you get?
That's so stupid.
I wonder what happens if you put that question in Chat GPT, what would you get?
Oh, I don't know. It says, "Put the money in the fucking bag. This is a blank." And the Ouija board said, "This is a bag." This is so stupid.
These guys are smart, man.
"I can't send my son to school. He's allergic to blank." And then it said bullets.
Oh, damn.
That was definitely done in America.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny. Because pee is stored in the balls and shit is stored in the blanket. Shit is stored in the White House.
I don't know Ouija board is saying. I think other people are saying.
Bro, I'm fucking crying. Is it I, Bernie Sanders, am officially running for, and is it my life? 2001 called. They want their blank back. It said they want their towers back.
Oh man,
this is bad. There are only two genders, female and is it Gmail? All right, I gotta fucking stop. That shit is so funny.
I wonder if people really ask these questions.
God,
Those
I'm
are more
crying.
mean. Those are Cards Against Humanity questions.
Right? That shit is fucking hilarious to me. I love this. I'm gonna follow this.
I wonder if anybody look up if anybody ever played Cards Against Humanity on the Ouija board.
Oh God.
I bet you that's happened. Somebody's out here doing some crazy.
Oh, I'm sure you probably. Well, I mean, in Cards Against Humanity, you have to like choose a card.
They just see what he says.
I mean, yeah, that's probably. This is kind of what it sounds like. You just kind of read it off and then see what it says.
Yeah,
this is literally this.
Hey, ask him this question.
Yeah, exactly. That was fucking hilarious to me.
What else is there? There's Ouija boards. What else is there that spiritual contact? I don't have any.
I mean, that's like one of the really only. So I watched a movie recently, called "Let Me In." It was on Netflix.
The hand thing?
Yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah. That's a pretty. I actually like that.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it definitely wasn't bad.
It was a good story.
It was a good Netflix movie. Basically.
Yeah, they could have done a lot with that storyline.
Yeah.
It could have been.
But they went a pretty decent route with it. I like how it ended, and like I was pretty good. In that sense, like I said, it was a good Netflix movie. I'm glad it wasn't in theaters or some shit. Just good for Netflix, a good chill day, just bullshit and dark. Yeah. It was actually thunderstorming when I was watching it over here, so it was like it was a good time to watch.
Time to watch scary movies.
Yeah, it was nighttime and it was thunderstorming, so I was like, all right, this is good. But yeah, with that one, there was a psychic's hand or something. They said like they cut it off and. They were whatever. It was like a ceramic hand, and they said there was an actual psychic's hand inside of it, and that's how they were able to talk to the dead. But yeah, no, that movie was pretty good. Sorry, I'm still reading these Ouija board things. Once ISIS is defeated, they'll be called ICE Isn't.
ICE is?
ISIS? ICE Isn't. All right, I gotta stop looking at these. I get shit so fucking.
Yeah.
My kids aren't vaccinated. They're blank aided, and it says they're cremated.
Okay. We were just talking about cremation.
We were. That's fucking funny. Virgins play Fortnite. I play, and then Ouija board said Fortnite. All right, I gotta stop. This is becoming just a Ouija board Ouija board podcast.
Yeah, we're supposed to be serious about Ouija board.
Exactly.
Like real.
It went from a fucking super serious story to just fucking around with it.
We're supposed to say don't mess with Ouija board.
Unless you want to do this. I'm actually cool. I don't care what you guys do. You can play with Ouija boards all you want. Go nuts, but just leave me out of it.
Awesome stories about it. That's what I want.
Yeah, I want to hear that stuff. Like, I think that's the really interesting thing about it is like how often does a Ouija board able to like kind of tell somebody something about themselves that other people shouldn't know. Like the people using the Ouija board. And that's why my experience was so weird because I wasn't even there. I was literally on the phone, and they were telling me things that just didn't, there's no way.
The first time I heard about Ouija board was Sunday school, man.
Oh, really?
Our Sunday school teacher was telling us about it, like, what his experience. That's when he was saying you can't throw them away. He's like, I tried to throw it away, it came back.
Yeah.
That was my Sunday school teacher telling us this. So
it's like the fucking mask in the movie The Mask. Like he threw it out the window, it came like flying back in.
Yeah, he'll fly back.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think of. But yeah, no, I don't know anything about like that type of stuff. But I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't want to fucking find out. I'm not really. I don't like being scared. Not my thing. All right.
See,
so
like
what's on?
Yeah, I like horror and all that, but yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, you're an interesting one because like you are a big horror buff, like a horror movie fan.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, so I went into a house recently. That was basically set to be demolished. It was like a super fixer upper. There was really no saving it. Like it was kind of just needed to get. Yeah, it was going to get demolished. But basically, I had to take a couple photos for like the investors to like look at the property more than anything. But anyway, like you have to take a couple photos. So I'm inside. Like I walked inside the place, and I'm like looking around or whatever. And inside, there were so many old school. I didn't see any rats. I saw a lot of dead roaches. But besides that, so many old like horror movie figurines and like fucking yeah, like figurines and like statues, like big I don't know, big plastic statues of them,
cutouts and some shit.
Yeah, cutouts and things like that. So like you'd turn a corner and like you'd see a fucking statue of fucking Mike Myers or some shit there, or like it in the corner. And I was like, this is fucking horrifying. Like this is the worst place to be.
You see they made like a haunted house before the.
I don't know. I think the guy so the realtor was with me, like the investor or one of them. He was with me and he was like, oh, the guy who died here, he was really just big into collecting this stuff. So he was like in the back in the shed, he's like, this stuff is full of just all this stuff. So basically what he was saying is he was just going to have somebody come in and say like, put a bid on, hey, all right, well, bid on what's in the shed. Like it can be anything, but I'm telling you, like the value in here is at least this. So go ahead and start your bidding, you know?
Yeah.
So people are going to just bid and someone's going to get a shit ton of fucking horror things.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
They're legit type pieces, you think?
I mean, for what I saw, they were. The thing is, they're just so old because everything in there is so dilapidated. They've been there for so long, you know?
Oh, no shit.
So they're just like stained with, I mean, I guess if you clean them up, dirt and stuff like that, you'd probably have a pretty good collection. But there was a lot. There was a lot, dude. Like,
it just adds to the vintage of it.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely vintage. Like, and the thing is, like, the guy said he was old. Like, even his wheelchair was still in there. Like, it was like a mechanical wheelchair. The guy was like, yeah, he died a couple years ago, and like the neighbors have kind of been taking care of this property, but they just can't do it, and now they're just kind of like getting rid of it or whatever. Like it got So, but I just thought it was kind of crazy because like I remember even like I saw there was like a floor mat or whatever in the kitchen that had like a bloody knife on it, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then like you look around and there's all this horror shit everywhere. I was like, and it's the dilapidated building, like a house just on top of that, like it's falling a fucking apart. And I'm like, this is goddamn perfect for like for what it is. But I couldn't even get into the backyard. It was so overgrown.
I'm about to clean out my garage, and I got all my Halloween figures and everything. But I'm about to, empty it out. I got so much stuff in this garage; it got cluttered. And I just gotta fucking empty it out so that way my Halloween figures could be back. They're just in the corner, and I like them stand. I like to walk in my garage and see them all, and have conversations and shit. But so what I want to do now with my Halloween figures is so I have like a little bistro set in my front porch.
Yeah.
And so I wanted, because so what I do is Halloween, I put all my figurines all on my front porch. Then at Halloween, I take them out into the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm tired of doing that. So I figured what I'm going to do now, I'm going to keep all the classic ones I got. I got Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, Chucky. I'm going to have them make it look like they're at a fucking cafe, and it's going to be called Crystal Lake Cafe on Elm Street.
That's cool, yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to have, because the Pennywise that I have, he's sitting there and his hands are like this or something like that. His hands are like this, and he's supposed to be holding a balloon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make him hold a tray of like fucking coffee. And I'm going to have Freddy, Michael Myers, and Jason sitting at the bistro table, like planning out what their Halloween or their murder is going to be like, and Chucky's going to be there with them and shit like that.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's not a bad little idea.
In my front yard, I'm going to do a scarecrow thing. I like scarecrows for some reason, and that way scarecrow, because I always dress up. I always dress up as one of my figures, so that way when the kids come, they got to guess which one's real.
Yeah. So
now I'm going to be from now on, it's going to be nothing but scarecrows. Because everybody puts skeletons in their yards. I'm putting scarecrows, so that way I think
a scarecrow is a nice touch. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put probably about 8 scarecrows in my yard, so that way you don't know which one's the one that's real. Because it's easy at scarecrow, you can just make any pose and they'll be okay. That guy, that one's not real,
right?
And also just get up and move. So I don't chase the kids in my because I live in a corner house, and all the parents when they come to my house, they're like, man, I was hoping you were going to chase the kids. I said, no, because they run out in that street and they get hit.
Yeah.
Y'all going to look at me like I'm in the fucking
Yeah, I guess you would be responsible in that case.
And so, I don't do that. I just sit there. Then when they get past me, because they got to get past me to get to my dad to get to the candy, that's when I get up and I come around behind them.
So you scare them towards the house.
Yeah, exactly. That way they run into the yard instead of run out into the street. So, yeah.
That's pretty smart instead of having them fucking actually die.
Yeah.
All right.
Now it's Halloween. It's all about driving.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, most in my neighborhood, like they still walk around. But honestly, dude, most of the time it's all teenagers. Like I rarely see young kids anymore at all. Like it's usually just teenagers. And like I think a lot of the young kids go to, huh?
The teenagers are the scared ones in my neighborhood.
In my neighborhood, the teenagers are all like, they're just kind of assholes, honestly. Like half of them don't even dress up. They're just like in regular ass clothes and just show up. And like they just hold their bag out. And I'm just like, fuck it here. Like, just go away. I don't even want to fucking entertain you.
There goes some Raisinets. That's why you should have had 2 sets.
Raisinets.
There goes some fucking Raisinets.
You want some fucking apples, celery sticks, or Raisinets?
Yeah, have a sign here that says costumes, no costumes. That way when they come next year, they're like, man, I'm wearing something when I come to this dude's house.
That's a good idea. Except I don't want to get egged. So like I don't want to get even though eggs are too expensive to fucking do that shit now.
That's why you sit in between yours and your neighbor's house. They don't know who the fuck
just they have to guess. That increases my odds of not getting egged.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna do a question for us. I found one that I liked that actually kind of fits our little
we're talking
thing about this time. So it is question 104. Okay.
So it's out of our 400.
Yep, it's out of our 400 questions. I found one that I actually liked. So question 104, and so what it says is, if you were a ghost, who would you haunt?
I already told my youngest daughter it's going to be her.
You're going to haunt her?
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Respect.
Because, man, I harass my youngest daughter. I don't know if it's because she's the youngest, but it's so funny because now my youngest daughter harasses her niece.
Oh, she's just keeping the tradition alive.
Yeah, so even though the niece ain't the youngest, because she got 2 other nephews, but
that's the one who she's chosen to harass.
Yeah, and then so she's like, now she knows how it feels and why we do what we do. But yeah, my youngest one, I would harass her just because that's what I do all the time. We used to do this thing when my daughter was younger. When I'm laying on the couch and she'll come watch TV with me, I throw her behind me so she's stuck between me and the couch, and I call it the pit. And fucking, she just be stuck back there while I'm watching TV. But it was an easy way to watch kids. I didn't have nothing else to do.
Just throw them in the pit.
That's so I can take a nap. But I think all my kids though. My son, he would be fun. But I just wish that they knew it was me. I would have to do something to them,
right?
To know, like, yeah, this is my dad.
Do you think that there's something that you could do that they would be like, okay, I know who this is?
If I was able to say something, I probably would.
Well, I'm saying you can't say something. Like, you can't do something no other ghost has ever done. So it has to be something small, something subtle that they would be like, okay, I know that this is my dad. Like, you know, is there something you think you could do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I really don't, like, I don't annoy, I annoy him with my voice and shit like that. If I can lean on him as a ghost, like put all my weight on him, but then they'd be like, yeah, this is just some fucking heavy weight.
This is a heavy ass ghost.
This dude went through some shit. Oh, that's dad.
All right, that's fair. I mean, I guess I should have kind of realized. I had a feeling you were going to choose your kids.
Yeah, one of my, like, the only thing is I just rag my kids just with my voice and stuff like that. Just shit that I say. And that's what they'll remember me by.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, remember when dad said this and shit like that? But there's nothing like, I don't just go up and just thump my son's ears just for the hell of it.
Right, but like, exactly. Is there not something physically you do to like your kids or something like that?
I need to start doing right now.
Yeah. So like, if you were a ghost and you just throw your fucking kid behind the couch, like, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. When they're sitting on the couch, I go sit next to them and just lean on.
Just lean on.
Oh, Dad,
like, oh God.
Dad, is that you? Oh man, while you mentioned that, man. So we were in class today, and man, this hit a lot of people. So our teacher was talking, like, you know, when we miss somebody, we have stuff that we can remember. Like, he was talking to one of his students who was blind.
Okay.
And one of the students, he's like, man, if y'all ever had something problem, you always give me a call. this student called him at 3 a.m.
Oh.
And she was crying. He's like, man, what you crying for? She said, my aunt, because her aunt passed away not too long ago. And she had a blanket that smelled like her aunt. Well, the smell was going away.
Oh, man.
Because she don't have no visuals.
Right, so that smell is her
so
reminder.
When he said, I was like, I never thought about that before. Because, like they say when you can't see, your other senses are heightened.
Right.
So, like, her smell is probably, like, I couldn't just grab a baby and be like, oh, this smells like my daughter, stuff like that. But you imagine, like, because she's never seen her aunt before.
It'd be like losing a picture of somebody, all your photos of them kind of
like,
deal.
We're lucky we get that. We can be, okay, I miss, you can look at that. You can look at videos and stuff like that. They can probably just go off of hear and smell.
Right.
I was like, man.
That's a good point. Yeah, I never really thought about that.
I never thought about that.
Well, they say that smell is the most, the sense most closely attached to memory. So.
My daughter can't smell nothing.
Oh, really? She got a shitty sense of smell?
Yeah.
Yeah, my sense of smell is pretty bad too, honestly. But I blame it on my growing up. Not my uncle, who I call my dad, but my other guy who I grew up with. He was always smoking in the house. So I think when I was young, like he just fucked up my nose. So I blame it on that. Like I still have a bad time. Like I can smell like really strong things, but I can't. I have a really hard time associating what smell is what. So like if somebody's cooking something. And
it smells good, but it smells like shit in it.
No. Like if it smells good, I can differentiate. But I can't tell you what it is. Like if someone's making pasta or some shit, I can't be like, oh man, that's fucking spaghetti. I'll be like, oh, are you making cookies? like I just can't tell.
It smells good in here. What is that cookie?
Yeah, like I have no fucking idea. Nothing. It doesn't click. Like what's what. So things like cologne and perfume and things like that, like nothing really. Like I can be like, oh, it smells good, but it doesn't remind me of somebody. So I don't know. I think that's just my sense of smell is really fucked. Yeah. But for me, if I was a ghost, who would I haunt? I would probably haunt anybody who's ever like done me wrong. I would make their lives fucking miserable. I'm very vengeful. I'd be a vengeful spirit.
Man, really?
I think so.
I'd be playful. I'm a playful person. So.
I would not be. I'd be fucking mean as fuck to people. I'd be making their lives fucking. I'd be doing so many fucked up things to them, like making them scared out of their wits.
Let's say if you come back as a ghost, and you haunt your dog, do you think your dog will know it's you?
My dog?
Yeah.
I mean, Bo's fucking pretty stupid, so I don't know.
I would have to say my dog would like, man, yeah, he's still here.
I mean, I think so, but
I fuck with my dogs more than like physically wise than I do with my kids,
Yeah. But I would say, yeah, I think an animal would be able to pick up on that.
Yeah.
I think so. I think probably more so than humans. Because I think humans are more just fucking in tune with like, the physical shit around them more so than like the spiritual shit. But a dog's senses are heightened, So I think they'd be able to kind of like just feel more. But yeah,
like I always grab my dog's ear, but I should have clipped your fucking ears when you were a puppy.
You gonna tell him that when he's fucking?
But I bet if I could just, because you can't talk, but I bet if you just grab the ear, like as it goes, he'd be like, "Oh, that's that motherfucker."
He might know, yeah. He might feel it. He might smell you. Who knows? But yeah, so that's what I would do. I would definitely haunt like my fucking enemies.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm vengeful.
Would you throw shit at?
Yeah, I would do all kinds of things. I would move their shit. I would hide their keys. I would fucking do all. I'd make their life very hard. Yep. Anything I could do as a spirit, other than being like a fucking actual poltergeist or some shit, like a demon. Oh hell yeah! I'd want them to. I want them to think it's me.
Like, do you think they'll like, man, I'm just having bad luck today, or do you think about, man, that's that motherfucker Ramboss, man?
I mean, maybe. Either way, I'd be happier as a ghost.
As long as you're happy.
As long as I'm a happy ghost. Because I don't anybody who's ever done me wrong like that. Like if I'm thinking if you are watching this and you think I'm thinking about you, I probably am.
Yeah.
So
I know I'm safe.
Yeah, you're safe. But I'm saying like the people who my voice just cracked like crazy. But the people who like if you think I don't like you, you pretty much know I don't like you. Like there's not really much hiding it. Yeah, like it's fucking that's pretty much how it goes. So I would definitely I'd start a fire in someone's house type shit. Like,
damn.
Yeah, I'd be fucking things up.
Yeah, see, no, man.
Yeah.
See,
I'm an
you'd
asshole.
be a scary movie. I'd be like a comedy.
Yeah, no, I'd be a bad ghost. People wouldn't want me. I'm a jerk. I'm a big dick jerk. Ugh.
Hey, do you think you'll get tired of it? You gotta get tired
of being a jerk ghost. No. Probably not.
Man, you gotta get tired.
I don't know, but my thing is, I feel like eventually I'd go to hell.
Yeah, me. All right, we had enough.
That's it. Yep, you
it's
fucked up enough.
Yeah, like it's only been a week.
Time to spend eternity burning in flames. Like, well, fuck. Yeah, we'll see. we'll see.
Somebody will see.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. You got anything else? You got anything you've been enjoying this week that you want to share with everybody before we get out of here?
No, just, I went to that Jefferson, Texas. That was pretty nice.
You think I should check it out?
Man, so I'm trying to do research right now because I'm looking at one of my leases up here in this apartment. I'm thinking about buying a house, man.
Nice.
So here's why. Did I tell you what's happened? What might happen in 5 years?
You were telling me something with your parents.
No.
Okay,
so my dad reneged on that. My dad was like,
nope, damn, that was short-lived.
I'm dying here. Yeah, he's like, I'm dying here. And I was like, damn. So what's happened? So after that, I talked to my daughter. My daughter, she's thinking about in 5 years, her and her family going to move to Texas.
Okay.
Because she'll be done HVAC school, heavy equipment operator, and I think she's going to do electrician.
Okay.
Trying to get these 3 certs, and then she's going to go work at construction with her husband's brother. He has a construction company. And so she's going to move to Texas, which I kind of encourage you, get out of this area right here, man.
What are you talking about, Shreveport? Like, you want them to leave?
Over here, you're going to either have kids early or join the fucking military or go to jail. So, so go see what Texas has to offer. I would rather see my grandkids over there. But so she's planning 5 years from now. So I think I'm going to try to buy another house.
Okay.
I think I can use my VA loan again.
You should be able. You can get a VA loan every year, right? I think it's as long as you live in the house you're in.
Yeah, there's something like a time. There's an amount that you can spend.
No.
Like a total amount is what. That's why I got to do more research. But so I want to get a house, and I want to live in that one for 5 years. Then when my daughter moves, I want to move back in my old house and rent out this one. And what I want to do is rent it out to pay for both of my mortgages. So that way, because my mortgage on my house right now is $920.
Yeah. Oh damn, that's super affordable.
Yeah. It's a 5-bedroom house.
Yeah.
$920 a month. Shit
Jesus
like that.
Christ.
Yeah. And so now I'm looking at getting a house that's under $200,000 here in Shreveport, which is still a pretty big house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And I want to get close to the base, so that way it'd be easier to rent to military family. And it'll be easier. Like, man, how much you get charged to stay out in town? Oh, okay, that much? I'll let you pocket $100. Man, just pay me this much.
Yeah, you're good.
Shit like that. And so I don't know. That's what I've been doing lately, man. And it sucks too because I go on Zillow and I look on Zillow, and I need to stop looking every day on Zillow like it's gonna fucking change.
Yeah, you gotta wait a little bit
because they have this one house that oh man, I really want this house, but I can't make that commitment yet.
You're doing this in 5 years?
What's that?
You're looking at this sort of in the next 5 years? Like that's your game plan?
My lease is up. My lease is up in October.
Oh, okay. But that's the 5-year game plan down the road.
Yeah, come back, I want to live in my new house for 5 years.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
That way,
I mean, why not?
Yeah, and that would, like I said, fucking.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. I also have a 5-year plan, but I'm not going to get into it right now.
But then I got a 10-year plan.
Yeah,
and I got to figure out. So within those 5 years, my youngest daughter, should be in college, close to graduating with a degree, and I got to make sure she's set in life before I make any big commitment. But I got to find out where to go to retire.
I mean, everybody comes to Florida. It's kind of shitty down here, I think, but it is what it is.
They got these bugs that kill your oranges in Florida. That's what
they do.
Driving me away.
That's like a main focus for you. You're a big citrus farmer. I
wanted a citrus farm. I wanted to retire and have a citrus farm.
Yeah, well, sorry to dash your dreams.
Old fashioned, with my own oranges, it would have been great.
Nope, sorry, buddy.
No,
it's out of the question.
My name, I don't know if I'm more of a lake or beach person. I don't know yet.
I mean, I'm also looking to do something with 5 years, like I said, but I'm not going to get too far into it. But there could be a couple options, and even within the next couple of years, who knows? Like, there's possibility for Japan. I'm not talking about moving over there, but just like owning over there. Possibility for Japan. There's possibility for Colorado, Oregon is another one. even like maybe Montana up that way, but we'll see. Like,
man, Montana's on my radar too.
Yeah, Montana is super beautiful. But it just depends. Like, I don't want to go buying all these fucking properties and then not really have a game plan for them. You know, I just don't want them sitting there. So I don't want to buy something out in the fucking boondocks somewhere and then no one's gonna move in, kind of deal. But anyway, yeah. So that was about it. Hopefully everybody understands Mike's 10-year plan.
Yes. If you follow this, if you tell people about this, so that way I can
help him promote his real estate dreams.
Yes. Help me promote this podcast just so I can.
Yes, we can grow. All right, cool. So we got nothing else. You think we're pretty good?
I'm good.
Respect.
Until next time.
Let's see. Where is my thingamashit? For Mike. All right, sweet. So for you guys, if you've been enjoying the podcast, please go ahead, like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things. We really are trying to grow. We really appreciate it if you could help us with any of that kind of stuff. If you want to see more of us, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on Twitch as well, doing like some live streaming here and there. Pretty much just on Ramboss the Terrible. And if you just want the audio versions, you can always just find us on Spotify. And remember, bad decisions always lead to the best stories. Peace out.
Peace.
Audio Jungle.